Parachlorometaxylenol, or chloroxylenol as it is often called, is a chemical which was developed in Europe in the 1920s. It is available as a liquid and is an antiseptic and disinfectant used for skin disinfection and for cleaning surgical instruments. It is thought to act by disrupting the cell walls of microbes and inactivating the cellular enzymes. Side effects of using chloroxylenol were generally few, but it did include skin irritations. This irritative property prevented people from using chloroxylenol extensively. During the early years of the 19th century, there were other compounds and solutions similar to chloroxylenol which were being used for disinfection purposes. One such compound was Jayes fluid, which was developed by John Jayes, an English chemical manufacturer, in 1877. Jayes fluid was so good in its disinfecting properties that it was given a royal warrant. A royal warrant is granted as a mark of recognition to people or companies who have regularly supplied goods or services to the English monarchy. In 1929, Dr. William Colebrook Reynolds, a reputed scientist who was previously working in Jayes, joined Reckitt & Sons, a consumer goods company based in the United Kingdom. Reckitt & Sons had realized that there was a huge demand for a product which could provide antiseptic benefits without being irritating. Dr. Reynolds, with his experience in Jayes, quickly got to work and discovered the foundation for a new mixture. This mixture contained 4.8% chloroxylenol, with the rest made up of pine oil, isopropanol, castor oil, soap, and water. The potential of this new mixture was immediately recognized. In the form of an antiseptic liquid, it was a wholly unique product in that it had the effectiveness of a disinfectant but did not cause irritation if applied to the skin when diluted. Reckitt & Sons initially decided to name the new antiseptic liquid PCMX in reference to the main ingredient parachlorometaxylenol, but in what was to be a remarkable branding milestone, the product was named Dettol. History perhaps would not have remembered PCMX as well as it did Dettol. Even though the name Dettol gave no indication of the formulation, it was to have an unmistakable medical association. The packaging was a clean, no-nonsense, slim bottle with round edges with a large cap that could be opened easily. The bottle resembled medicine bottles of the early 1930s, and the use of white on green was reminiscent of hospitals and nursing homes. Dettol's white sword further referenced the doctor's cross. Later, Reckitt & Sons cleverly used this as the sword of trust in advertising, along with the clouding action, which was a characteristic of Dettol when dissolved in water. With the branding done, the team behind Dettol wanted to really put the product to the test to see what it could do, as its potential to do good was obviously incredibly far-reaching. During the early 1930s, a large number of women across the UK and the world were tragically dying during childbirth from sepsis. Sepsis is a serious condition resulting from the presence of harmful microorganisms in the blood or other tissues and the body's response to their presence, potentially leading to the malfunctioning of various organs, shock, and even death. Antiseptics used by midwives at the time were poisonous substances, often irritating and in some cases corrosive if used in large concentrations. Reckitt & Sons recognized the potential of Dettol in solving this crisis. And so in 1933, trials of Dettol began at Queen Charlotte Maternity Hospital in London. Within 2 years, the morbidity rate from sepsis during birth reduced by 50%. Dettol thus was a huge success and was ready to be launched to the market with medical backing. Dettol was launched in pharmacies initially and then went on general sale in the UK. In 1935, Dettol was introduced to the world, including Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, India, Canada, and South America. Dettol's move to India in the late 1930s was significant. Because of the British rule, Dettol found acceptance in local hospitals for first aid, cleaning of wards, washing of linen, etc. But it remained out of homes for a significant period because Indians believed in using home remedies such as turmeric as a germicide. The brand had miles to cover before becoming the household name it is today. Reckitt & Sons had to rely on doctor referrals to spread the word about Dettol. This was a medium trusted by consumers. Allopathic doctors would keep an antiseptic liquid for cleaning wounds or for other uses after minor procedures. Reckitt & Sons ensured that doctors used Dettol on such occasions. Patients got to see how Dettol was used, which was followed by the doctor recommending Dettol for home usage. The patients followed the doctor and the word spread soon. Dettol quickly became the most trusted brand and the most used product of its kind in the country. Dettol opened its first factory in 1945, and by 1980 it was estimated that almost 65 million people in India had used Dettol at least once. In 1937, the annual report from the directors of Reckitt & Sons had a statement which evidenced the success that Dettol had achieved. It said, "Like so many of our products, Dettol has become a household name, and every day we receive evidence that it is appreciated by the public as a safe, pleasant, and efficient antiseptic." During World War II, Dettol played a vital role in saving lives. It was so important to the British efforts that it was considered essential by the UK government, and the Dettol factory was temporarily moved to a less vulnerable location to protect its manufacturing. After the World War, Reckitt & Sons changed their marketing strategy. Several cinema ads were made in the 1960s using the mother-child relationship as the fulcrum to drive home the message of germ protection. This continued over the decades. By 1981, Dettol had expanded into soaps, taking its germ protection property into the competitive personal care space. By the 1990s, it added plasters, liquid soap, and shaving cream to its portfolio, and followed up by adding body wash, kitchen gel, hygiene liquids, and wet wipes. In 1999, through several mergers and acquisitions, Reckitt & Sons became Reckitt & Benckiser. But Dettol continued to be one among the highest bestsellers of the company. Dettol's broad healthcare and personal hygiene canvas has meant that it has increasingly found itself fighting with other brands which are positioned on the same plank. At times, it has waged legal battles with other similar brands. Despite enjoying over 85% share of the market in antiseptic liquids, Dettol is clearly not done protecting its turf while continuing with its germ protection plank. COVID-19 pandemic has brought a whole new emphasis on personal hygiene, and products like Dettol have capitalized immensely on this. Dettol has now become a synonym for antiseptic and is today considered a gold standard in germ protection. It is interesting how clever marketing and design clubbed with the technology gives birth to products that leave everlasting imprints on the human life.